Eri-chan has decided to bring us to countryside. So let's go for a walk. Konnichiwa everyone, how are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a lovely day wherever you're watching this video from. You join me in the countryside in Shiga, in a place called Notogawa. Notogawa is a bit further than Yasu, not as far as Maibara. And it's proper countryside. I'm not really sure why Eri-chan's brought us here. Let's ask her. Eri-chan, why are we here? Why have you brought us here?
Because I see a big fish.
So on Google, she saw a picture of a fish. So that's why we're here. Ah, okay. Whoa, cool. Whoa, that's sick. It's a little river. And fish. Lots of fish. Now I understand why Eri-chan's brought us here. River like that. So yeah, we're proper in countryside anyway. Right, so I'll flip it around for a bit. Full disclosure, we are in the middle of a pandemic, you know, and shit is pretty fucked, let's be right. So things are not as they usually are. Let's just say that. Anyway, I always get comments and questions from people who want to come to Japan. I mean, like, fair enough. When I was coming to Japan, I had loads of questions and nobody to ask. So I don't mind people asking me questions. That's not what this is about. But I always get the same questions, you know. I get, what do you think about this company? Is this company a good company to work for? I've heard bad things about XYZ company. And people worry a lot. They worry a lot about these things. And one thing I'd like to say to you is, fucking go worrying. What's the point? Like, these companies that bring people in from overseas, they are not designed for people to be there for more than a year. They're not designed for that. You sure you can stay for more than a year if you want, but that's not the purpose, that's not the point. Like, they're here so you can get in country, that's how you should treat it. And of course this shit, you know, all big companies, Nova, ECC, GABA, Interact, whatever. You know, you see bad shit online all the time. And that's because they are kind of shit. But understand what they are. They're a way into the country. And then after you've been here, work for them for a bit, get set up, get settled. And if you plan on staying any more than like a year, after a few months, fuck them off. Find something better. I mean, right now, it don't really work. Because finding something else might not be easy in Japan right now. But just get a visa, come here, get settled, then move on. That's what them companies are there for. So don't give any more thought than that. That's what I'm basically saying. Are you a worrier naturally? Yes, I am. It's easy for me to say that, but yeah, I am a bit of a worrier. And I worried about it loads before I come here. I'm like, oh, what happens if this company's bad? You know what happens if a company's bad? Fuck them off and go somewhere else. You know. Yeah, so don't worry about it too much, is basically what I'm saying. They're going to be shit. Expect them to be shit. Use them to get in country. Then leave and do something else. There you go. Problem solved. So when I were in Japan, well, when I was working for Interact, my first year, I was in junior high school. And just one school, and it was great. The students from that school were sick. The teachers were great. Probably one of the best jobs I've ever had. It were awesome. I enjoyed it. Second year, they bunged me in like 4 elementary schools and it were a bit shit. Not that elementary schools aren't fun, it was just like the way that contract was structured. So in end, I did it for a bit and then left and did something else. Like I was saying, like, there's always something else in Japan. Like, get here, that's like step one, innit? Without step one, you can't really do all else. So step one, get here. Which, to be fair, in a pandemic is hard work. Don't be too worried if, like, you know, they offer you a job and then suddenly your stream dies. Because that happens sometimes. Maybe it's back, I don't know. Yeah, don't be surprised if, like, it takes more time than usual, to be honest. Government don't know what the fuck it's doing in terms of border and letting people in and stuff like that. So expecting a turnaround in a week during a pandemic is not big brained, is it? Let's be right. Sunshine. When I were in elementary schools in Osaka, very much like you're at school for like 1 day a week. So schools really didn't give a shit. Fucking let Gaijin do what he's gonna do. But I like to be in control of lessons. I like to be like, I'm doing my thing. I don't care if teacher's there or not. I don't need them. Some people like to be T2, which is assistant teacher. I'm not about that life. I like teaching, which is probably why Interact weren't that good for me. I like to actually teach things, not just, I don't know, fuck about. I don't know. I didn't enjoy elementary school so much. In junior high, I could do what I want, so that were alright. Is Nova better as a small place instead of a big city? I want to say there's 6 months. Mike, well, I'll turn around and talk about that then, will I? Right, so when you take a job with one of these big companies that get you in country, probably you're not going to have much choice in where they send you. You know, when I come to Japan, I had a choice of Hokkaido, which is like North Island, better cold. I wear shorts all year. I'm not about that. Yeah, it's 1 degree today and I'm still wearing shorts. And what? Lost my train of thought. So I also had a choice of Tokyo. Nah, mate, not about that Tokyo life. It's alright for some, but not for me. And also Kansai. Kansai is a pretty big area. Kyoto, Osaka, Nara, you know, and so on. So like, yeah, lesser of three evils, don't really know what I'm doing anyway, send me there. And I got put in Akashi, which is next to Kobe. Kobe. And that was cool for me. It like weren't a big city, but it was big enough that I weren't bored. Got decent transport links and that. Osaka are about 40 minutes on train. Buzzing. And yeah, it weren't too overwhelming, so that was pretty cool for me. I liked that. But I think in big cities, everybody wants to go there, man. Like, everyone wants to go Tokyo, everyone wants to go Osaka. I think if you're a bit more out of the way, it's a bit more chill. Where I were in like Hyogo, from Kobe to Himeji, that area were cool. Cool teachers, cool staff, decent schools, students were cool. It's not ideal long term, but it weren't bad. It weren't three bad. I wouldn't recommend Nova at the minute. They made the contract shitter. There's a... Mate, if they can take some off you, they'll take some off you in terms of contracts. These companies, they're not here to be a mate. They know that you're going to fuck off after a year and all. So, they'll nickel and dime everything they can get from you. Make you an independent contractor, but you can only work for them and shit, you know. That's part and parcel of the game. They're protecting their shit. Whereas, we protect our shit, don't we? So it's a mutual trade-off. Shit company for a chance to get in country, innit? Right, so Nova, sure they'll help you get an apartment. Of course they will. I want to walk this way for a bit. Sure they'll help you get an apartment, but they'll charge you for it. You'll be living in a Leo Palace. And, you know, it's a one-bedroom thing. It's like basically a little prison. Is how I always thought about it. And they'll charge you for it. They take a nice little bit of cream off at top. So don't stay in it too long. I stayed in it 2 years because I was too lazy to find something else. Year and a half, whatever. So don't stay there too long. And mid-contract they'll try and penalise you for that and penalise you for that. If you give them notice, mate, there's fuck all they can do about it. And they'll not give you a reference. They're not going to give you a reference anyway. So what difference does it make? Fuck them. Nova sucks balls. They were the biggest employer of foreigners in the country about 17 years ago before they got bust and got bought out. Yep. If you look online for stuff about Nova, you'll realise, oof, they've got a bit of history, them, haven't they? They've got a bit of history, them boys, Nova, if you look online. Same with any of these companies. If you research them online, you know, like Glassdoor or something like that, even YouTube, plenty of people kicking off about how shit it is. I mean, fair enough, people have shit experiences, but my experience were relatively positive because I knew what it were. It was just a means to an end. And in that case, if you know what it is, you're not surprised, are you? I guess. So I'll think about it anyway. So, JaDan, do you think COVID is going to kill most chance for English teaching foreigners? At minute, it's on its arse. There's plenty of people here who've lost their jobs and can't find new jobs. So trying to come into the country in that situation is not ideal. People are doing it. Me personally, I wouldn't try for a while because, you know, you don't want a fucking nightmare where you get here and there's no job. That's happened to people I know. So, yeah. Things are a bit messy right now. I think in future it'll pick up. It's got to, hasn't it? Like, English is one of the things not going to go away. Anyway, to sum up this video about not worrying about coming to Japan, most of the companies that are going to bring you into the country are shit. Don't worry about it. Come into the country, then settle down, and then find something else to do. Don't worry about things that don't matter. There's plenty of other things you could worry about. So, I guess that's my take on life in general. So hopefully this puts your mind at rest. They're not careers. I mean, for some people they are. Not for me. Almost all big companies are here to take advantage and get cheap labour. And that's what it is. Don't worry about it. Use them for a visa, do something else. I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, until next time, Jamata. Cheers for finding my video today. I appreciate that. There's some other videos on screen if you want to watch some stuff about Japan. And we've also got the JaDanFam on Patreon who are awesome and support what I do. That's patreon.com/JaDanDanDan. Before you go, do me a favour and smash that subscribe button. Cheers.